Well, it's been a source of constant controversy at Queen's Park. Just who is running the warehouse that supplies the province's official online cannabis store? Yesterday, Finance Minister Vic Fedeli refused to reveal which company was in charge of the business. Today, Minister Fedeli did say there was a public tender involved under the prior government, but he still refused to say which company won that bid. Political specialist Cynthia Mulligan is here. And Cynthia, this whole exchange in the legislature today about the OCS
pretty testy.
Sparked some really interesting comments, including one from Mr. Fedeli, where he called a member of the opposition an idiot. Have a look.
We understand how business works. Now, I can appreciate very much that the NDP don't quite understand how business works. But as the security of the OCS warehouse is a top priority, we will not be sharing further information on the day-to-day operation. That's how business works. Idiot.
Did you hear that from Minister Fedeli?
I did hear that after I asked a question on the Ontario Cannabis store. I think I'm here as a member of the official opposition asking tough questions of ministers, and especially with the Ontario Cannabis store, so much smoke around what's happening with its operations. So I think, it's unfortunate that rather than answer my question directly, the minister is hurling out personal insults.
And interesting, because just yesterday I was talking about how the level of decorum is quite low after an NDP jab at the Premier.
And then this today, and I should mention Mr. Fedeli did rise in the House, did apologize, but as you say, the decorum has gotten so bad that you have these very unparliamentary words being thrown around in the House today.
I've never seen it so bad. Okay, let's leave Queen's Park behind us for a minute. What's up with the Irish pilot seeing little green spacemen?
Was it leprechauns or little green men, Cynthia?
I don't know.
So this is making news all over the place today. It's the Irish Aviation Authority say they're investigating this. It happened back in the early morning hours of November 9th. Several big commercial airliners flying over southwestern Ireland reported seeing unusual objects. Take a listen to some of the air traffic control.
It was moving so fast. It to come up on our left-hand side and then rapidly veer to the north. Being so bright light, and then it just disappeared at a very high speed. And we were just wondering. We didn't think it was a likely collision course. We were just wondering what that could have been.
Appeared to be multiple objects following the same sort of trajectory. Very bright from where we were. The Virgin 76 also saw that in our 11 o'clock position. Two bright lights. Glad it wasn't just me. No, very interesting, that one.
So, before you say, Richard, you're just a conspiracy theorist,
right.
I should point out, New York Times front cover last December revealed a Pentagon program where the U.S. government's recently spent $22 million investigating what they called anonymous space threats. So who knows, Cynthia, what's going on?
Maybe they're little green men. Who knows?
Maybe they're just some leprechauns. Who knows?
And I knew, because Richard always picks up on the most intriguing stories of the day. You really do find the quirky ones. And of course, I knew you'd pick up on this one. It seems that self-driving cars could become, how do I say this, a vehicle for the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah,
Richard.
So there's this big study out of Britain, Cynthia. It's from the University of Surrey and Oxford, and they found, or they thought, that self-driving cars, when they come to be, which we know is going to happen in the next few years, they could serve as moving brothels. They say it could be cheaper for the red light districts to go on wheels, and it could be more discreet as well.
Wow.
The study also found that the
are you going to put curtains on the windows? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you'd have to have some tinted windows or something for that.
Yeah.
A study also found that the airline industry and the hotel industry could suffer because people could just sleep in the car overnight to take a trip instead of flying as they might have now. The coach industry could be in trouble with people taking tours via their cars, simply driving them to tourist hotspots. So it's interesting to see how self-driving cars could really change everything we do, including some maybe
nefarious.
Yeah, nefarious
affairs. Interesting, and really, it's not that far away.
It's not, and it could reduce traffic congestion, so that's the plus of it.
All right, Richard Southern, always a blast to talk with you.